Dear students, in last class we have solved a problem on capacitance grading. Today I will take up intersheath grading. Intersheath grading. In this type of grading, the same dielectric material is used. But potentials at certain radius are held constant. By using metal sheaths. It means that such cables have more than one metal sheaths. How the metal sheaths are held at constant potential, that we will see looking at the figure below. Here in this figure you can see a conductor of radius r. I will write that here. Radius of conductor equal to r. First insulator, second insulator, and the third insulator. This is outer sheath here. All the three insulators are made up of same material. Therefore, epsilon value is same for all the three insulators. The radius of first insulator is R1, the radius of second insulator is R2, and the radius of third insulator is capital R. Now you can see here an auxiliary transformer. This auxiliary transformer is having tappings. Tappings means the turns in the winding of auxiliary transformer are divided into many parts, and from each part a connection is taken out. So here you can see the end terminals of winding of auxiliary transformer and the tapped terminals here. Tapping is done so that the first metal sheath is kept at constant voltage of V2. V2 means what? The potential difference between the surface of first insulating material and the inner surface of outer sheath. Similarly, the second insulating material outer surface is maintained at a potential of V1, that is the potential difference between outer sheath of second insulating material and the inner surface of sheath is kept equal to V1. So we understand that now the potential difference between the conductor surface and first insulator surface is V minus V2. The potential difference between first insulator surface and second insulator surface is V2 minus V1. And the potential at the surface of third insulator is equal to 0. I can write here now 0. The potential difference between conductor surface and the inner surface of outer sheath is equal to V minus 0, that is equal to V. So now we'll write about this diagram. Consider two metal sheaths having radii R1 and R2 kept at potentials V2 and V1 respectively. As shown in figure above. As shown in figure above. The potentials at intersheaths are maintained with the help of an auxiliary transformer due to this arrangement. The stress distribution are forced to be lower than the stress distribution without intersheath for the same operating voltage. and overall size of the cable R. It means that if two cables having same radii, one with intersheath and other without intersheath, are operated at same voltage, then the electric stress in case of a cable having intersheath will be less compared to the electric stress in a cable without intersheath. If the insulating material is homogeneous, I hope you all know what is the meaning of homogeneity, because you all have studied basic science subject. Using equation for maximum electric stress at the conductor surface, Emax equal to V minus V2 divided by R into ln of R1 minus R. Here V minus V2 is the potential difference between the conductor surface and first insulator surface. Similarly, the electric stress at radius R1 and R2 are given by V2 minus V1 upon R1 into ln of R2 by R1 and V1 minus 0 by R2 V1 minus 0 by R2 into ln of R by R2. Since we have used here same material, the maximum stresses must be same, because same material will be having same voltage withstanding capacity, because same material will be having same voltage withstanding capacity. That means the maximum stresses must be same for the same material. Therefore, V minus V2 upon R into ln of R1 by R should be equal to V2 minus V1 upon R1 into ln of R2 by R1, that is equal to V1 upon R2 into ln of capital R by R2. Let us call this as equation 1 for future reference. If we make the ratios R1 by R equal to R2 by R1 equal to capital R by R equal to alpha, then equation 1 becomes V minus V2 upon R ln of alpha equal to V2 minus V1 upon R1 ln of alpha, that is equal to V1 upon R2 ln of alpha. Or V minus V2 upon R equal to V2 minus V1 upon R1 equal to V1 upon R2. Now let us call this as equation 2. To represent the stresses in terms of V, R and R, consider from equation 2 V2 minus V1 upon R1 equal to V1 by R2. We get V2 by R1 minus V1 by R1 equal to V1 by R2. V2 by R1 equal to V1 upon R2 plus V1 upon R1, and we can write V1 into bracket 1 by R2 plus 1 by R1 equal to V2 by R1, or V2 is equal to R1 into V1 into R1 plus R2 divided by, taking LCM here, R1 into R2. R1 and R1 will cancel, so we get V2 equal to V1 into the bracket 1 plus R2 by R1 by R2 by R1. This expression I am getting by dividing both numerator and denominator of this bracket by R1. Therefore, V2 may be now written as V1 into 1 plus alpha divided by alpha. Let us call this as equation 3 now. Again using equation 2, V minus V2 by R equal to V1 by R2. We can write V is equal to we can write V by R equal to V2 by R plus V1 by R2. So V is equal to R into V2 by R plus R into V1 by R2. That is R and R will cancel here. Substituting for the value of V2 from equation 3 we get V1 into the bracket 1 plus alpha by alpha plus V1 into R1 by R1 into R by R2. Here this R1 by R1 ratio I am using for a small manipulation. We have already written that R2 by R1 and R1 by R are equal to alpha. Therefore, R1 by R2 and R by R1 they will become reciprocals of alpha. So, V1 into 1 by alpha into 1 by alpha we get, or V1 into 1 by alpha square we get. From these two terms, if I take V1 common outside, I will be getting V1 into the bracket 1 plus alpha upon alpha plus 1 upon alpha square. So that may be written this way. V1 into the bracket 1 plus alpha upon alpha plus 1 upon alpha square. V1 into the bracket alpha plus alpha square plus 1 divided by alpha square. V1 into the bracket 1 plus alpha square upon alpha square. This is equal to V. We'll call this as equation 4 now. Using alpha equal to R by R2, we can write R2 equal to capital R by alpha. Let us call this equation as 5. Now, substituting for R2 and V1 in Emax equal to V1 upon R2 into ln of R by R2. This expression I am taking from equation 1. Emax will become V1 upon R2. V1 is what now? V1 can be written in terms of V as V into alpha square upon 1 plus alpha square, and R2 may be written as R by alpha into ln of alpha, and this in turn may be written as V into alpha cube. I will take this alpha to the numerator so that it will become V into alpha cube into 1 plus alpha square into ln of alpha into R. Now let us call this as equation 6. If interseeds are not present, the maximum stress is at conductor surface and is equal to say E dash max, that is equal to V upon R into ln of capital R by small r, that is equal to V upon R upon alpha cube into ln of alpha cube. R upon alpha cube is equal to R, that you can verify here. Alpha value is R1 by R and R2 by R1 and R by R2. R2 will cancel, R1 will cancel, R and R will cancel, ultimately we will get it as R. Therefore this R here is written as R upon alpha cube, and capital R by small r, if I take this R here and alpha cube here, I can write capital R by small r equal to alpha cube, and this alpha cube in place of capital R by small r I have written here. Now using laws of logarithms we can write, by taking this alpha cube to the numerator, V alpha cube upon 3r into ln of alpha. Now let us call this as equation 7. Since the value of alpha is greater than unity, therefore we can write E max upon E dash max equal to 3 upon 1 plus alpha square. Let us call this as equation 8. Since alpha value is greater than unity, the ratio 3 by 1 plus alpha square is less than unity. It means that dielectric stress with intersheath grading it means that maximum dielectric stress with intersheath grading is less than that without intersheath grading. Using V equal to Emax into the bracket R into ln of R1 by R plus R1 into ln of R2 by R1 plus R2 into ln of capital R by R2. We can write V equal to Emax into the bracket R into ln of alpha, because R1 by R is alpha, plus R1 into ln of alpha, because R2 by R1 is also equal to alpha, plus R2 into ln of alpha, because capital R by R2 is also alpha. Taking ln of alpha common outside, we can write Emax into the bracket R1 plus R2 plus R. Taking ln of alpha common outside, we can write operating voltage V equal to Emax into the bracket R plus R1 plus R2 into ln of alpha. Let us call this as equation 9. And from equation 9, if I take common outside R, then I can write R into Emax equal to 1 plus R1 by R plus R2 by R into ln of alpha, that is equal to Emax into R into 1 plus R1 by R is alpha, and R2 by R may be written as alpha square into ln of alpha. Now let us call this as equation 10. So what is this? This is an expression for operating voltage of cable having intersheath grading. But grading of any kind is difficult because of the following reasons. Grading of cables in practical system is difficult due to several reasons, such as first one, unavailability of insulating materials with varying permittivity. That means we cannot have lot number of insulating materials with gradually varying permittivities. Change in permittivity, change in the permittivity with time. That means aging effect will be there. Which changes the distribution of stress that may lead to a rupture of insulating material. Rupture means breaking down. And that too at normal operating voltage only. Damage of intersheath during laying or due to aging may lead to severe stress. So with age, the insulation properties will degrade, and that results in severe stress on insulating material, due to which once again the insulator may fail. If intersheath grading is used, then charging current would flow through the intersheath, thereby overheating it. Charging current flows through the intersheath which may lead to overheating and damaging the cable. There may be resonance problem in intersheath grading due to inductance of transformer and capacitance of cable. I hope you all have studied resonance occurs when inductive reactance in a circuit becomes equal to capacitive reactance, and at that time impedance of the circuit will be equal to only resistance. That means impedance decreases drastically, thereby increasing the leakage current, which may once again lead to the overheating and damaging of the cable. And remember, grading is not economical. For low voltage cables. So because of all these reasons, in these days grading is avoided, and a modern practice is to make use of oil and gas filled cables. So very important solution for all these problems it is now. Due to these reasons, grading is avoided in modern practice. In favor of oil and gas filled cables. That means here insulating oil and the gas having insulation properties are used as insulating material, and such cables also become very much flexible because fluids are flexible. So laying of such cables would be easier than laying of the cables with solid insulation. Dear students, I will stop the class here and continue in next class. Thank you very much.